Hi everyone, and welcome to another estate sale video. So I really need to stay away from estate sales. I'm sure my husband wishes I would as well. However, I do find some really good things, and when I do, he's happy. And this estate sale, I took my grandson with me, so we got a lot of really, you want that kind of thing. And there was one thing that I went for that I saw, the estate sale that I go to. She advertises on Facebook, so I look in there and then I just kind of blow up the pictures and things. And then sometimes I'll ask how much things are. And the second day of the estate sale is half off day. So I wasn't actually able to go the first day for the one thing I wanted, which I was willing to pay full price for. So I went the second day and got it half off. So I'm going to show you what I got, and I actually ended up picking up a laundry basket and just telling her, I really don't want that laundry basket. If you want me to take my stuff out, I just needed something to carry things in, and she said no problem. And so what we got here were these two. I don't know why, I just love vintage kitchenware. And even though these are aluminum, I don't cook in aluminum, so I think they're okay. And this is just a cheese grater. It was actually, says it was, I think it's, let me see what label that is. If you're into kitchenware, Baraducci from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Isn't that crazy? So I have that. I like this one because it has a place where you can hang it up. Not sure if we will. And kind of wondered if it had originally come with any extra grinding wheels in there. But my husband's crazy about his cheese. So when he grinds his cheese, sometimes we just leave it in the little grinder and stick the whole thing in a big Ziploc bag and put it back in the refrigerator, because I don't like washing these over and over and over every single living day. So then I saw this one, and these things didn't have prices on them. And normally at the estate sale that this person runs, I know that that means it's going to be inexpensive. Just throw it in a bag and it goes along with your lot price. So I got that one. I don't even see a name. I don't even think this one's aluminum. It feels like some kind of chintzy cheap metal. It came with 3 wheels, and oh, there it is. It's called a moule. Oh, made in France. Okay. And then I got this little coffee scoop. I just like this to keep with my measuring scoops. My husband has separate coffee. I have separate coffee, so we have separate coffee scoops. And then I have tea, bulk tea. I pick these up when I see them so that I can just add one in each little thing, coffee, tea, etc. And I do Thanksgiving dinner here, so I'm always looking for little serving pieces or things like that, and I liked that. I think that's an older item, and it is marked down in there. I just, even with the camera clarifying it, my eyes are not that so well anymore. And then this is some sort of noodle roller, I'm guessing, maybe a lasagna maker that clamps onto the table. So I kind of feel like it's important to have this sort of manual item in case I know that some people love making their own noodles. I don't think it's rocket science, but this will just go in our canning supplies, that we keep back in our manual kitchen-y things. I also picked these up. I do have a lot of crochet needles from another estate sale. I did know how to crochet a long time ago. Haven't done it in ages, but there's just something about the crochet needles that if they're cheap enough, I just grab them. I think it's like an illness. I kind of just, it reminds me of one of my cousins that used to crochet a lot, and my grandmother. So I just like to, I don't know, get them. I think I could just carry one around and avoid buying all of them. And then I got these. These reminded me of the little, when they're half of this, it's like a child's toy, but there were 3 of these, and I think these are really nice for baking little torts. So I grabbed those, and I know how much this is prepping. It's not really, sorry. I got these old vintage serving trays with legs. I allow anybody who wants to eat in the living room to eat in the living room. I do like them to have a tray, and these older ones just bring back a lot of memories, and they were only $1 a piece. Then, like I said, grandson was there. So was son. But grandson was there, and he got this I Spy book. He loves these I Spy books. As a matter of fact, he's getting an I Spy the Farter for Christmas from my sister. And then he saw this Jumanji game, and of course, with knowing what the movie is and then knowing that Jumanji 2 is coming out, he grabbed this, and don't even know if everything's there. I don't check it. He says he wants it, and I know that it's cheap. I just, yeah, whatever. Go ahead and get it. I don't care. And he is a BAB collector, Build-A-Bear. And we have paid full price for some Build-A-Bears, and if we see them at thrift stores or yard sales, he always gets them. They're like $3 or $5. But when you go to the store, depending on what you build your bear to be, they're quite expensive. This isn't a Build-A-Bear bear, but it was a postal letter carrier bear, and he just liked it a lot, and it was marked $10. But remember, it was half off day. So when I told him to ask the woman who runs the sale, her name's Marcy, how much it was, and she said, put it with your granny's stuff and I'll give you a good deal. So, I mean, she does. So let me show you what else we got. I also ended up getting this small wall cutter. We have it's electric. I don't know why I'm trying to turn it on. We have the larger one, and this one has the combs that have never even been opened, and it's in great shape, new shape, and it works well. It's just a smaller one, and I'm pretty sure that was marked $3, which would mean that it was $1.50 because it was half off day. And this is what I actually saw on her advertisement that I wanted to go for. It's an Ohaus Harvard Trip Balance Scale. It does up to 5 pounds. It's not exactly what I was looking for. I wanted a scale that measures in milligrams, so I'm probably still going to be on the hunt. But for $12.50, half off the 25, and an amazing deal, and I will use it for something like when I'm baking, and I actually do weigh my dog's food every day. I use this scale to weigh their food, and I probably still will use it, but I'm using the electric scales, battery-operated scales, to weigh my freeze-dried foods, and I change the batteries, and they die so quickly. And I ended up buying another scale so that I'd always have batteries and not have to change, well, so I'd have a scale that's working and not have to change batteries in the middle of doing my freeze-dried foods. So this does weigh in grams, so it may work out very well. I'm not real sure. And then, of course, these are super expensive if you buy them separately. I saw these on Amazon. So when I saw that they had these there, I said, oh, amazing. I might be able to work these into using the scale. But there's, the little separate little weights. I haven't even looked at these. They're cold. I just got them out of the car. They've been in the car for 2 days. What's that one say? 1,000 grams? Why is my scale not working? I'll have to check it out. Okay, so there's that. I got that one. The full set was marked 20, so of course it was half off. I got that for 10. And since I always lose things, and 2 is 1, 1 is none, they had 2 incomplete sets, and not enough here to make a complete set, but I paid $10 for each of these. And I'm always looking for, like I said, good quality kitchenware, and I kind of liked this knife. It's Rowoco? I don't know. France. It was marked 10. Don't forget, everything was half off. And then I think, yeah, I grabbed this. I thought this was something my grandson grabbed. This looks like it says it's a big and pretty miracle tool, but the card there says Timberwolf. While the instructions say Pakistan, the item says Pakistan. And it looks like the one there, so there you go. Just a little. And of course it was marked 3. We grabbed another pair of binoculars. I don't know what that is. Haven't even showed or asked my husband yet what that is on there. Somebody said they thought it was some sort of rangefinder. I've no clue. But these were marked 5, so of course $2.50. And then usually when I ask my husband about binoculars, he says we have enough. But for $2.50, I just, you know, it's going in the preps. Share, barter, hoard. I liked the look of this knife. I think it's also, it says Inox Italy, and that said it was marked 10. We bought this knife at an estate sale, and this is one of the best knives we own. That one and this one. We love these knives, and I feel like this one for, you know, cutting will definitely become a favorite. So we also got this. And it was marked 15. It had that knife. I don't know where that one's from. I just noticed now it had these 2 small ones in there. My husband will probably have to clean those up. And I don't see any sort of markings, so it just might be a cheapie, but it's actually quite, it's not really heavy, I guess. I don't know. So then I got 2 mortar and pestles. They were marked 35 each, and normally I wouldn't want to pay that much for anything. The reason I did was because we like them. We don't have any large ones, and I was bidding on some on an online auction one time where somebody had like a collection of them, and it went for like $300 or $400. So I don't feel like if we decided we wouldn't want these, I feel like we wouldn't have a hard time selling them. And of course, instead of 35 each, I paid 35 for both. That says, I think that says Coors USA, and then a number 39G, and there, has that there. Oop, sorry about that. Yeah, I know. Okay, she's not going to focus. I need a new camera. Well, I need a new phone. And then the last thing here I'm going to show you is the things that my grandson grabbed. I said, really? Why are you buying tape? And ladies, I said, is this your tape for like selling price tags or anything? And she said, no, that's okay. So he grabbed all this stuff, and I don't even think it added anything to my bill. So that's it. Those were my estate sale finds. And I'm going to tell you something else. This was a great sale, and the woman usually I texted her like 2 days later, and I said, hey Marcy, I remember seeing a brass spittoon that said Union Railroad on it, and I told my husband about it, and he was interested in that, and she said, oh, we just turned the house over. Now normally she sells for a couple of weeks out of a house when she has an estate sale, but this particular house had been sold, so in 2 days it needed cleaned out. And I said, well, who has all the stuff? She said, oh, well, we give it to the clean out crew. I said, what do you mean? There was so much stuff left in this house, and I'm not a Barbie doll collector, but they had like 30 or 40 I Love Lucy Barbie dolls. They had tons of collectibles. They had that Le Creuset cookware. They had a room full of tools. They had a fully stocked liquor cabinet, but they're not allowed to sell liquor at all at an estate sale in Pennsylvania because they don't have a license. So the owner wanted nothing of it, she told me. So she called the clean out crew, and the owner said, well, do I have to pay them? Because she didn't want to pay somebody. And the woman who runs the estate sales said, well, you know, if the stuff is good that's left in the house, they don't usually charge because they can make their money off of taking the items. And if there's not good stuff, then yeah, you have to pay them. And I said, oh my gosh, like, did they get to keep that alcohol? That whole, like, there was vintage whiskey and scotch, and we're not drinkers, but I kind of see, like, know that there are people who collect that kind of stuff. And she said, yeah, they kept it all. So those people, she said, they weren't getting paid. They were just come get everything out of the house. if you keep all the stuff. It's free. So, that's what happened. And I asked her, I said, oh my gosh, you know what? Like, how does somebody get involved in doing house clean outs? She said, I can keep you in mind for the next one. And I thought, you know what? I don't have an outside job, and my disability benefits here run out in like a little while. So that's something I may be looking into, and it might be my side hustle. Not a side hustle, that would be my actual hustle to actually bring in some money after the benefits run out. So that's it. And if you're looking for work in your area and you have a truck, well, that might be something you can look into. And if you don't want this stuff, you can scrap it, junk it, put it out front for free, or sell it online, or open up a little mini store. Who knows? But that's it. Just wanted to share that little tidbit with you too. And sorry, this really isn't much of a prepping video, but have fun and let me know what you think of estate sales, and do you have a favorite knife? Okay, be blessed.